Hello, my name is Sarah. I came to the UK with my child to join my husband on a refugee family reunion visa. One of the big questions I had when I arrived was, what do I need to know about life in the UK? I was worried because I didn't know how I was going to communicate with people. I quickly found out that English is the most widely spoken language in the UK. There are many resources you can use to learn English, such as ESOL classes, which stands for English as a Second Language. These are normally given by charities, local community organizations, or colleges. If I wanted to get information on English classes in my area, I could use an internet search engine to look up ESO plus my local area. I was curious about how British culture and society are different from my home country. I found out that men and women have equal rights and are treated equally under UK law. This is in marriage, in the workplace, and in all aspects of private and public life. I've seen that many women have jobs and earn their own salary to live independently or contribute to the family income. And it's not just women who take on caring and housework responsibilities here. Some households share this task. You notice that families are diverse in the UK. There are families with lone parents, step-parents, or same-sex parents and their children. Legally, women can marry other women and men can marry men too. It's important to know that divorce in the UK is a legal process which both men and women can start. Separation is always a set time, but it doesn't mean a woman is left with nothing. The law ensures there is a safety net in place. Before arriving, I felt nervous about my safety. Here in the UK, the police exist to protect the public, their rights, and the law. The police are there to help. You don't have to be afraid to speak to them if you are a victim of crime, see a crime happening, or need general help. They support you if you need to report a crime and have specially trained people who support the victims of crime. If there's an emergency, I can call the emergency services on 999 and ask for the police. I can tell them my language on the phone and they will find an interpreter. 101 is the number to contact the police in less urgent situations. Again, they can find you an interpreter. When I came to the UK, I wondered how my child and I would have enough money. I have found sorting my finances in the UK very complicated, and I was recommended to get advice from the Citizens Advice Bureau. They can help if you are in England, Wales, or Scotland. Advice and I can help if you are in Northern Ireland. I am allowed to work in the UK on my refugee family reunion visa. You can also receive public funds. That means if you are unable to work, looking for work but have not yet found a job, or are not paid enough to get by, the government will give you a basic monthly payment. This is called universal credit. It's organized by the job center. There are conditions for receiving it. You have to sign an agreement and can face penalties if you do not follow its terms. The amount you get depends on your situation, like whether you have children, a disability, or a health condition that means you cannot work, or if you need help paying your rent and how much income your partner has. It is important to follow every step of the process closely, reply to messages, and understand what you need to do and when. Otherwise, some or all the money you get may be stopped. If your partner already gets universal credit, you must make a joint claim. If you do that, your partner's payments will stop temporarily while the job center combines your claims. You will need to apply for help during this time to cover for food and bills. You may be able to get a loan or grant from the job center. Universal credit is paid into only one bank account. To open my own bank account, I can go into a high street bank and ask to open an account with them. This can also be done online. I would need documents that prove my identity, immigration status, and address. I use mine to receive child benefit, which is another payment made to parents with children in their care, paid separately to universal credit. Housing is also very complicated, and I needed to ask for a lot of advice to find a home for me and my family. Shelter can advise on what you are entitled to and how to access housing in your region. I learned that social housing is accommodation provided by the government for people who are facing homelessness. But many people in the UK rent privately from a landlord or own their houses. The government can help to house families in some situations. For example, if I was facing homelessness, If my accommodation was overcrowded or in a poor state, or if I was at risk of violence. You can ask for help by contacting your local council housing office. Or if you are in Northern Ireland, you can contact the housing executive. The council oversees who can get a social house. After they look at your situation, it might be a long wait to get housing. You might be put in a bed and breakfast, also known as a B&B or hostel, temporarily. It can take many months or even years to get more permanent social housing, and it's your responsibility to look for and bid on houses. You won't have much choice on the housing you're offered. It may not be in the area or even the city you want, and the quality of this housing may not be what you expect. You should get independent advice before refusing any social accommodation offered to you, because saying no can have consequences. You can use the housing cost part of universal credit to pay your rent, but this is limited and may not be enough if you have a large family and need a big house. It might be easier to find private housing rather than social housing, but this involves taking a fixed term contract with the landlord. A sum of money has to be paid in advance, called a deposit, which covers potential damage to the property. There is sometimes help from local government to pay this. It's best to get advice before starting this process. I hope this advice is helpful to you.